Welcome back to For the Record. Today we are reacting to Olivia Dean's new album. It's called The Art of Loving. It is 12 songs and it runs about 34 minutes. Before this album was released, there were 3 singles: Nice to Each Other, Lady Lady, and Man I Need. My favorite of these 3 by far was Lady Lady. I love that song. It's like one of the best songs ever made. Well, you know what I mean. I say that all the time about every song. Man I Need and Nice to Each Other kind of have gone a little bit viral online, which is pretty cool to see. I say we just jump right in with the first song, appropriately titled The Art of Loving intro.
In the art of loving.
That was a cute little intro. I don't usually listen to intro and outro songs or interludes that much because I feel like sometimes I just want to get to the actual songs. So I feel like that's one that I won't go back to often, if ever. I do think it intros the album pretty well. This next song is the first single. It's Nice to Each Other. I've heard this song plenty of times. I love this song. So let's listen to it again.
Nice to each other, nice to each other, wrong for each other, right for.
That song was kind of my reintroduction in a way to Olivia Dean. I say kind of because she put out an album in 2023 called Messy that I loved. It was so good. I kind of stopped listening to her after the hype for that album died down. And then in June of this year, Sam Fender put out a duet with Olivia Dean on his song Rain Me In. That's what reminded me of like, oh my god, I love Olivia Dean, she's so awesome. But this song came out like a month before that cover, but I didn't realize. Then I went back and listened to like what she's released since Messy came out. It's kind of a reintroduction for me in the sense of like it got me excited for this next album. I mean, it definitely got a lot of people excited as it was the first single, but it made me go back and listen to all of her old music that I love. This next song is by far my favorite single out of the 3 for this project. This is Lady Lady. So let's give it a listen.
That lady, she's the man. I think she got a master plan. It's something I.
With Lady Lady, that song kind of hits me in the same place that Chaotic by Tate McRae does, which they're not sonically similar whatsoever, like not even close, but they talk about such specific like way of growing up that I feel like not a lot of other people do. Olivia just tapped right into that. Like, I don't know, it's such a if you get it kind of feeling, you know what I mean? I do feel like a lot of people feel that way. Like, growing up is hard, right? It sucks. And both Chaotic and Lady Lady kind of capture that energy. Lady Lady is like one of my songs of the year by far. This next song is called Close Up. It's 3 minutes and 15 seconds. I say we jump right in.
You don't make it easy. Now I'm all closer. I can't tell if you.
I really want to hear Olivia Dean do like a full like jazz project. I think her voice suits it really well. I mean, there are jazz elements in these songs, right? Like you have the brass in the background, even the background vocals. There's also some swing elements, I think. Don't get me wrong, don't quote me on that, but like I'm not someone who knows a ton about swing, but I think I can pick up some swing vibes, you know what I mean? But yeah, these songs have a lot of jazz elements to them, and it's really nice. So I want to hear her at some point go fully into that, because I think it would be beautiful. Because although it does have jazz elements, there's a lot of modern day pop to it as well, you know what I mean? I really enjoyed that song. It was really nice. Her voice is so satisfying. That's one of the reasons why I love Olivia Dean. I feel like for me specifically, there aren't too many like female singers that I gravitate towards unless it's like Tate McRae or Sabrina Carpenter. Having someone like Olivia Dean in my music taste is so important because there's not many people like her out there that I listen to. I feel like with both Tate McRae and Sabrina Carpenter, I'm not necessarily relating to their music specifically. Like I listen to Sabrina for fun. She makes really good pop music, I think. And Tate McRae, I just love Tate McRae. But there's such a difference between what they make and what Olivia Dean makes, because I feel like Olivia Dean makes music that like actually connects with me, whereas Sabrina Carpenter and Tate McRae do that with certain songs, but I feel like they're more fun to listen to, and I don't necessarily have experiences similar to what they're talking about in their songs, whereas Olivia Dean absolutely does. So I feel like it's good to have a female singer that experiences things kind of in the ways that I do. This next song is called So Easy to Fall in Love. It is about just under 3 minutes. Let's give it a listen.
I think it's so easy to fall in love.
I will be completely honest with you. I've tried my very hardest to avoid hearing clips of the new songs of this album. Of course, I've heard the singles, as I've said, but I have heard this song all over TikTok. Not all over TikTok, but like on like the music pages that talk about Olivia Dean and similar music. I've heard them like this is the newest song in the background. I think that means it's probably the newest single. I don't really know. That song is beautiful. What I'm getting from this album is that it's just kind of about like romanticizing life, which I feel like a lot of artists don't really do. A lot of music is kind of focused around like negative things like heartbreak or things like that, whereas this one, or at least the last few-ish songs, I guess, have kind of been like, oh, like not everything is as bad as it seems, you know what I mean? This next song is called Let Alone the One You Love. This is 3 minutes and 6 seconds. Let's jump right in.
Who would do that to a friend, let alone the one you love?
Before I heard this song, I said it's all been like, I don't, like, happy isn't the right word, because, you know, she did talk about some difficult things like growing up and changing and how that's kind of difficult to go through. She did sing about them in kind of a positive way. This song is very melancholic compared to the rest of the songs. It's kind of like being betrayed by someone. I don't know, betrayed seems too like harsh, but like someone letting you down, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's something that everyone has experienced. I know I have for sure in my life, whether it be family members or friends or, you know, like I feel like everyone has experienced things like that in some capacity at some point in their life. I think she sang about it in a beautiful way. Because like when things like that happen, all you can do is sit there and think like how could you do that? Like, I thought I was important to you, but apparently I'm not. And I would never do that to you, so how could you do that to me? Like, it does feel like a betrayal in a way. And I feel like she kind of captured that energy in a really beautiful way that doesn't feel like negativity towards the other person. It's more like a negative feeling that's just there now. You know what I mean? It's not like she's outwardly like calling someone out and, you know, like hating on them in a sense. She's just kind of letting her feelings say what they need to say, which is beautiful. As I was listening to that song, one of the only things I was thinking was, I need her to release a Christmas album. That's all I was thinking. She would have such a beautiful Christmas voice. I was thinking about that, listening to her voice, obviously, and the background vocals. Oh my god, it would be beautiful. And listen, I don't like Christmas music. I think it's too like corny and too gimmicky. Not my thing. Like, there's a few Christmas songs and Christmas albums that I adore. Under the Mistletoe by Justin Bieber is like one of the only ones I go to like specifically for Christmas music. Also Tyler Shaw, he's a Canadian singer who I love. He has a really good Christmas album and he has a really good Christmas voice too. And I feel like Olivia Dean also kind of suits that kind of energy, like holiday vibes, you know what I mean? This next song is what I would say is the most popular single. It's Man I Need, and it is 3 minutes and 4 seconds. I've heard this song plenty of times. I love this song so much. Let's give it a listen one more time.
Come be the man I need. Tell me you got something to give. I want it.
Every time I hear this song and Nice to Each Other, I can never decide which one I like more. I think they're both perfect, beautiful songs. I want to say I think the way that she sings this is my favorite, but I think the overall vibe of Nice to Each Other is... See, it's so difficult. She has a kind of a deeper tone in this song that is stunning. I love both of these songs. They're both perfect. I guess they just suit different times, you know what I mean? This next song is called Something in Between. It is 2.5 minutes. Let's give it a listen.
I'm not leaving. Just feel tightly squeezed in. Love.
What I took from that song is that sometimes being in between of something isn't necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes it's just what you need, right? That's something a lot of people don't talk about, is like just being where you are is okay. Because I feel like for a lot of music, it's always like, oh, I need to be this exact way. I need to be with this exact person, or this exact person sucks, or whatever the case may be for that song. So I feel like hearing someone, indifferent isn't the right word, but like just being okay with where they are in life, it's nice to hear people sing about that. I know for people who are not like super famous or famous singers or whatever, a lot of times their lives don't have those extremes that singers talk about, right? A lot of times it's just kind of very slow paced, very quiet, very kind of one note, you know what I mean? Like one level. So it's nice to hear singers also talk about that rather than singing about like two extremes, right? It's nice to have like a middle ground in some situations. This next song is called Loud. It is just over 3 minutes. Let's give it a listen.
I'm out, the silence is so loud.
This might be a little bit of a rogue comparison that I'm gonna make, but this song seems like the TV dinner of this album. That's a song off Sam Fender's People Watching, which if you want to go watch a reaction to that, I did post one when it came out. It doesn't, obviously, it's not like the same story or doesn't sound like similar at all, but it's darker than a lot of the other songs that I've heard on this project so far. And I think that's mainly due to the beautiful like violin or whatever kind of stringed instrument she had in that song. I can't remember exactly what I said with TV Dinner in comparison to the rest of People Watching, but it's very cinematic, right? It's like you can paint a picture perfectly in your mind of exactly what she's talking about in this song. Same with TV Dinner, that's why I compare the two. Storytelling is so perfect, it's great. And one thing that I really, really enjoyed was we kind of followed her throughout this relationship or whatever of like whoever she was with at the time changed their mind about her. And then so it started off with 4 hands at the piano and then it ended off with 2, which I think was just a very nice little kind of flip, right? Obviously it is like a sad situation, but I think she talked about it in a very beautiful manner. This next song is Baby Steps. It is 3:17. Let's give it a listen.
Right, left, for now I'm taking baby steps.
Spotify does like a release day playlist on every Friday, and I listen to that sometimes because I like to know what the new music sounds like. And that was on that playlist, so I have heard that song. I love that song. I think that song is tied with Lady Lady as being like one of my favorites on this project. It's so catchy. The instrumentation is a little bit different from what we've heard on this project before. Like you have guitar that's really nice that does stand out from the rest of the songs. You have like some kind of shakers. I don't know if it's a tambourine. I don't think it's a tambourine. It sounds too like wooden to be a tambourine, if that makes sense. There's drums in it. It's nice. It's a really good song. I love that song. It's very catchy. It's really good to walk to as well. It's a good pace. This is the second last song. It's called A Couple Minutes. It is 3.5 minutes long, so a couple minutes. Let's give it a listen.
They have a couple minutes, yes, we're going back to real life.
Again, I feel like that is something a lot of people like go through, is like having people in your life that you care about so much and then they're not in your life anymore, whether it is a relationship or just like friends or family or whatever the case may be, where it's not necessarily a negative thing, right? It didn't end on negative terms. You just kind of parted ways and you still have all that love and care for them. And if you saw them, you'd want to like make sure that everything's going well, everything that they wanted to happen happened. I don't think it's necessarily like a sad song, although yes, sure, it can be a sad thing that you grow apart from people. Sometimes I do think it turns out to benefit both parties rather than, continuing that relationship. And even though all that love and whatever is still there, you can do that from far away rather than always being with that person. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, she said it a lot better than I am saying it now, but that's a really beautiful song. I love it. This is the final song. It is just over 2 minutes. It's called I've Seen It. Let's give it a listen.
I've seen it dance with friends around the table in LA.
This may be another kind of rogue comparison I'm gonna make, but hey, I'm no stranger to those, you know what I mean? Does this song not sound like Just the Two of Us by Grover Washington Jr. and Bill Withers? Like, I don't know if anyone else hears that, but that's the first thing I thought, was like, oh my god, it sounds like them. Not they don't sound the same, like their singing voices, but just like, it just sounds like the same song. So if you also hear that, please let me know so I know I'm not going crazy. Because it's like in such a specific way, like whatever, it doesn't matter. But I think that was a really, really, really good outro. Better than a lot of outros that I've heard this year, other than with the exception of like a few albums. Like a few albums this year have had incredible outros, like Don't Tell a Dog by James Marriott comes to mind, To Dry a Tear by Kamari. Also, like people watching, sure, Remember My Name was a really good outro, but I don't go back to it because it's insanely depressing. But there have been very few projects with such strong outros. And this album definitely is at the top of that list. With that being said, that was The Art of Loving by Miss Olivia Dean. That is one of my albums of the year for sure. She has such a one-of-a-kind voice that I feel like not a lot of other singers have today. It's like raspy, but it's smooth. Oh, it's beautiful. It's, as I said, it's silky. You know what I mean? I 100% recommend this album. Lady Lady is like song of the year. Well, one of my songs of the year for sure. But I wanted to apologize for not posting a video for 2 months. Whoopsie. It's been pretty busy. My younger sibling moved away, so we moved them to a new province. Not that anyone watching this cares. But then there was a bunch of construction outside of my house. It was really loud, and I couldn't film. But we're back on track. Hopefully 1 video a week. Hopefully. Because I am currently running 3 channels, including this one. It's a bit difficult to sit down and film all the time because I'm either filming for those or editing. So hopefully I'm back on track with at least 1 a week. It'll mainly just be reactions right now. I have a ton of albums to listen to and catch up on from like the end of August to now, pretty much. So keep an eye out, keep an ear out for those coming in the next few weeks. My recommendation for today is obviously Miss Olivia Dean, The Art of Loving. Even go back and listen to Messy. My favorite song, one of my favorite duets of all time is The Hardest Part with her and Leon Bridges, so also I recommend that. But with that being said, I will leave you to it. Bye for now, guys.